benefit of if you're in a corporate environment and you have multiple stores is that all your loyalty customers are shared across all those locations. It will use a web service to communicate back and forth between the two, and that way if a customer purchases at one location and then they go to another location and purchase there, they're sharing the same balance. So they don't have to worry about only accumulating points at an individual location. To add customers, you just simply go to the Customers tab, choose the New button, and then you can key in your information. Now, of course, this is a bit tedious compared to the way I'm going to show you next utilizing the point of sale. You can, of course, type in this information and choose Save, and then at that point, the customers are eligible to be loyalty customers. The better way, in my mind, to add loyalty customers is using the POS. It's a much faster, easier way, and it just saves a lot of time and is very convenient. We're going to open up the POS here. I'm going to log in. Going to open the POS up. And first and foremost, when you're in the POS, to look up a loyalty customer or to add a new one, there's a customer glyph on the side here, right below that cart and count and news, above the news section. You'll choose that. This brings us the Find Customer window. Now you can look for customers that already exist by phone number, by the last name, by email, by a scan ID, or by a driver's license. What I want to show you next is adding a customer. To add a customer, we'll choose the New button, and you're presented with a window that is touch-friendly, but very similar to what we looked at in Director, where you key in all this information. The benefit of the POS is that if you have a 2D imaging scanner, which if you purchase hardware from us, more than likely you do, on the back of driver's license, there are always generally two barcodes, one that looks like a standard barcode and then one that looks like a QR code. That 2D imager scanner on the POS lets you scan that QR looking code, and it will automatically plug in all this information for you. So you're effectively saving a lot of time by not having to key this in. You just simply ask for the customer's driver's license, scan that, this all gets populated, and you choose Save. I will add them to the loyalty database. Then from that point forward, whenever they come back into the store, you can simply choose that customer button. You can find them by their phone number, last name, email, or their driver's license. Another benefit is you can just simply scan that driver's license here on the main screen of the POS, and it will automatically add them to the transaction. Another benefit to that is age verification. If you have items that have age verification, such as like this Marlboro here, it's going to prompt for age. It's going to bring up that age verification window. If I just scan a driver's license, it does two things. It will add them, if they already exist, to the transaction as a loyalty customer, and it will automatically bypass this screen for you. It'll do that age check. So you're really saving extra time, even more so, by doing that. All right, so let's go back to Director. That covers adding our customers. Now on this screen here in Director, we can see what each customer spent, the last store they visited, and the last activity they were in that they had. Remember, if you're in a corporate environment, this will show the last time for whatever store they were at. So whatever date they shopped at, whatever store they shopped at. All right, so let's look at the campaigns themselves. I've got two examples here. To build a new campaign, you just simply choose the New button. That'll bring up a new campaign details window. You type in the name, your start date and stop date. So in between those two dates, your loyalty campaign will be effective. The campaign type, which is either a post-sale coupon or manufacturer-funded loyalty discounts. And then the trigger type for post-sale coupons. You have a points earned, which would mean you assign point values per item whenever the customer earns a certain number of points, say 10, they get a coupon printed out from the receipt printer for whatever value you designate. You have your coupon details, so you can put a header in place, and then your text, the body of the coupon. We're going to look at the one that I already have it here in place for points per dollar. So you can see I've got it labeled points per dollar. I've got the start date, stop date. I've got the post-sale coupon type, and it's a dollar spent campaign type. The value is $50. So what this means is whenever the customer spends $50, they're going to get a coupon for $1. There's two checkboxes here. Only valid at printed store. What that means is at that single location that it printed, that's the only place that coupon can be used. So if you're in a corporate environment, you have multiple stores. If the coupon prints out at store 1, that means that coupon can only be utilized at store 1. Single use per account. What this means is basically the loyalty customer themselves is an account. So once they earn one coupon and they use it, they can't utilize another coupon for the entirety of this campaign. So between those 2 dates. So that covers the campaign type of points per dollar and the dollars spent. To add items, you can, of course, just choose the add item window down here. Choose that add item button. You can search for UPC, description, or vendor part. You can remove items by selecting an item and removing that. And then whenever you're done, you want to make sure you choose that save button to save those changes. That'll update that campaign. Now, another place to add loyalty items is through mass updates. And this is my preferred way because it's much faster than going item by item. You would go to the mass updates area by first choosing price book, then mass updates. And then after you filter to the group of items you want to filter to, which in this case, I'd want everything on this points per dollar campaign, you would choose the utilities tab. And there's a campaign area down here. I would choose, in this case, the points per dollar and then add. And that would add all these items to that campaign. Now, I've already done this previously, so I don't have to do this again. So let's look at how that looks in the POS. So I'm going to go to the point of sale now. I'm going to look up a customer. So I'm going to choose the customer glyph. I'm going to do a find. I'm going to choose myself. Whenever the customer is chosen, that customer glyph will be lit up blue, and it'll have the customer's first name. Now, whenever you choose this again, this allows you to see a couple different options. You can view customer coupons, their sales history, their current balances. You can edit their details. You can choose another customer. So if you chose the wrong customer, you can choose this and it'll let you search for another customer or just clear them from the transaction. So if I wanted to choose someone else, I could hit clear and then customer and then search and find and add someone else. So I'm going to choose myself again here. I'm going to look at my balances right now. So I'm going to choose the customer glyph. I'm going to look at that balance, and we can see that I have, in my current campaign types, I have the loyalty points. I have 1150 and 2 for that RJR. So I'm going to do a transaction here. I'm going to ring up one Winston pack. I'll total that out. This window here, in case you're unaware, is uplifts. It's a way to prompt cashiers, let them know that there is a campaign going where the customer, if they purchase something in addition, they're going to be eligible for a discount. It also notifies the customer using that secondary display. If you're interested in this, there is a webinar that was done previously. It's a couple weeks back, but all the webinars are recorded, so you can just choose that, and there's a session covering uplifts. I'm going to cash this transaction out. Then I'm going to look myself back up again and look at my balance. And we can see my balance went up. So, based on the campaign that we currently have, when I get 50 points, it's going to reduce by 50 and then print me out a coupon. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to ring up, let's just say I'm going to ring up another 4 of these. Hash that out. Look myself back up. Here's where the coupon would have printed from the receipt printer. I will look at my customer balances. We can see that I'm now back down to 1150. So I'm 11.5 points. The reason being is I had excess of 50 points, so it reduced by 50 and then printed that coupon out. Now, as a note, coupons are printed from the receipt printer. So with integrated loyalty, there's a couple limitations. Once the coupon is printed, that's that. It's printed. The points are deducted and the customer has the coupon. If the customer loses the coupon, there's no way for you to reprint that. So be sure to stress to the customers that they need to keep up with that coupon. Another thing is if the receipt printer is currently out of paper and it doesn't print, take that into consideration too, because the points are still going to be deducted. You wouldn't have a way to reprint that. So always keep in mind, whenever you're looking at the paper coming out of the receipt printer, it lets you know whenever it's low. There's usually some kind of red or yellow highlighting on the printer letting you know that it's short on paper. So we went over printing the coupon. Now, what if we have a return? I'm going to start an item return process here. So I'm doing my return. I'm going to look for my return customer. I'm going to put in damaged product. I'm going to earn this one Wednesday. Hash that out. Now, when I look up myself again and I look at my balances, we can see that I lost my points. That's how it should function. I had a return, so it's the same as if I purchased it. When I purchased that item, $10, I'm getting 10 points. When I return, I'm reducing myself by 10 points. Now, I'm at 1.5 points right now. What if I do another return? Let's see what happens. There's my return. Cash that out. I'm going to look myself back up. Look at my balance. I'm at negative 8.5 points. That's correct. Because you can go below 0 points. If I'm at 0 points and I do a return in this points per dollar campaign, technically that would mean if I didn't reduce points, I could buy as much as I want, then return it all and keep getting coupons. That's not a good way to do that. So we're going to reduce the points below 0 if the customer has 0 points. That way you don't have to worry about that potential situation happening. So that covers the basics of the points per dollar campaign. And the points per item functions very similarly. The main difference would be whenever you're assigning items to your campaign, instead of assigning just the item itself, there's a point value. So if I build a new campaign and I'm doing a post-sale coupon, dollar spent, just going to make that per day. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's make it 10 points. They get a 50-cent coupon. See that error message there? That's another limitation of integrated loyalty. You can only have one triggerable post-sale coupon at a time. So what this means is I would have to get rid of this points per dollar campaign because that is a post-sale coupon in order to build another type of campaign, whether it be another points per dollar campaign or a points per item. So what I wanted to show you was whenever you're adding a points per item to the transaction, there is a value field. When I go to utilities, there's a value or points field. That's where you assign the item's individual points. So for example, if I'm assigning this item to this campaign and I want to assign that 1 point, I just input the value of 1. If I want to put 10 and I choose add, that's going to add that item to where whenever I sell it, it accumulates 10 points whenever it's sold. So that covers both those post-sale coupon types of campaigns. The other type of campaign is going to be the manufacturer-funded campaign. So I don't believe they may still do this, but in some states, but I believe for the most part, Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds have gone to the system discount type campaign, which I'll go over here momentarily. But this is a campaign that they used to utilize where it was an in-transaction discount that did not involve a coupon, but it carried over per days. So what this means, and we'll look at this example here, I've got the campaign of RJR points rewards. It's, of course, a points earned, the type you'd want to choose. The trigger value is 10. So whenever I sell items and I assign them points, whenever I get to 10 points, that next point I get is going to spit out a dollar transaction discount in that same transaction. So let's take a look at how this functions, just so you can see. I've got two items here. I've got a camel pack and a camel carton. I've assigned the pack to be a value of 1 point, the carton to be a value of 10 points. I've got myself already looked up on the transaction. I'm going to choose this camel. I'm going to sell that, cash it out, look myself back up, look at my balances. I've now got 3. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sell that same camel, look myself up, I've now got 4. So whenever I get 10, it shouldn't do anything. So I'm going to go ahead and sell 6 more of those. No transaction discount. I'm going to cash that out. When I look myself up again, and I look at my balance, I have 10. So that means, based on the campaign we have set up, got 10. The next time I sell something in this campaign, it's going to apply that $1 in transaction discount. It's not going to be a coupon like the post-sale coupons. So I'm going to sell 1 more of those. Subtotal, there it is. There's that in transaction discount. I'll cash that out, look myself back up. We can see that I lost 10 points because that was redeemed. I'm now, for that 1 pack I bought, I'm now at 1 point. 10 was removed. So that's how the manufacturer funded campaigns work. Now, with integrated loyalty, you can also utilize this with system discounts. So I'm going to go to the price book and the system discounts area. And on system discounts, there's a require loyalty checkbox. If that's checked, that means in order for the customer to receive a discount, this discount here, they have to be tied as a loyalty customer to the transaction. So let's look at, I've got this Marlboro item I'm going to bring up here momentarily, and we can see that I've got 3 different discounts that's associated with that Marlboro item. I've got 2 here that do not require loyalty, and I've got 1 that does. So I'm going to clear the customer from the transaction. I'm going to ring up 2 Marlboro items, subtotal that out, 2 discounts applied. Because I'm not tied as a loyalty customer to the transaction, only 2 of the 3 discounts applied. I'll cash that out. Now I'm going to tie myself to the transaction as a loyalty customer, do the exact same thing. Apply it. And there's that additional loyalty discount that's applied. I'm going to go ahead and cash it out. So that's how you can utilize loyalty with your system discounts. And like I said, I believe most of the manufacturer-funded discounts now utilize the system discount method. But if they still do, in some states use the loyalty in transaction discount where you accumulate a number of points, you can definitely still utilize that. All right, so I hope everybody learned something today, utilizing the integrated loyalty that's built into everybody's system. If you have any questions, we of course have documentation and videos on the website, gofdx.com. Just choose the Lifeline button, and you can always review this one webinar that we just now completed. You just simply, for videos, you would choose the video tab under FasTrax POS. For documentation, choose the documentation link, and for webinars, just choose the webinar link. And all the webinars, once they've been completed, you can just view the recording. Just simply choose that. It may prompt you to install a Cisco WebEx extension. Go ahead and do that. It's not anything dangerous. And then you can review all these videos. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I look forward to speaking with you next week. Thank you.